Our food is sprayed with a synthetic man-made chemical, and then we feed it to our children, and it causes mood disorders. If you have not gone down the folic acid rabbit hole, I have a clip of Gary Brecka on the Joe Rogan Experiment to explain it better than I. 44% of the population has a gene mutation that cannot convert folic acid into methylfolate. If you are eating a regular American diet, more likely than not, you are deficient in methylfolate, which can lead to ADD, ADHD, OCD, anxiety, depression, and a litany of other things, and you need to supplement with a good methylfolate, and this one has methyl B12 as well, so it's great for your brain, memory, nerve health. It's an active form, and you can get it right here in the TikTok shop.
Folic acid is the most prevalent nutrient in the human diet. Folic acid, by the way, is an entirely man-made chemical. You can't find folic. We've been lied to about folic acid. I mean, it's entirely man-made and synthetic. You can't find folic acid anywhere on the surface of the earth. It does not occur naturally in nature. Folate does, but we make folic acid in a lab. And then what we've done since 1993 is we've sprayed all of our grains, all white flour, all white rice, all white bread, and grains of any kind are sprayed with this chemical folic acid. It's called fortified or enriched. So when you spin a box of crackers around, it says fortified whole wheat flour or enriched bleached white flour. That means it's been sprayed with folic acid. Well, 44% of the population can't convert that into the usable nutrient.
Why do they spray it with folic acid?
Well, I mean, without going down the whole road of theory, I mean, you look at the same, companies that produce folic acid, and you look at some of the downsides of having a synthetic form of a vitamin like folic acid in the diet, and how it's correlated to higher incidences of ADD, ADHD, OCD, manic depression, bipolar. It's correlated to poor gut motility, mood imbalance, anxiety. And because when you put this raw material into the human body, if you can't metabolize it, if you can't methylate it into the usable form, first of all, you now have a deficiency in the form your body needs and an excess in the nutrient you can't process. And this causes things to go haywire.
So instead of folate, it's folic acid. And what does your body try to do with that?
So your body tries to convert folic acid eventually into something called methylfolate. There's a few steps in between tetrahydrofolate, dihydrofolate, but essentially folic acid and folate, which you can find all over the surface of the earth, gets converted into the usable form called methylfolate. Okay, now this is one of the most commonly utilized methylated nutrients in the human body. It helps downregulate neurotransmitters. It helps improve the intestinal motility of our gut. It helps degrade thought. It helps to actually break down catecholamines, which are fight or flight neurotransmitters that can actually stimulate thought. And so people will go a lifetime eating white bread, white flour, white rice, white pasta, breads and cereals of all kinds, and they're reading the label and they're like, wow, it's fortified, it's enriched. Well, fortified or enriched for 44% of the population means you can't break that nutrient down. This is why there's a lot of evidence that getting folic acid out of the diet has immediate behavioral changes. I mean, if you're a parent and you're listening to this podcast and it's a full contact sport to get your kid in the car to go to school in the morning, look at what you're feeding them. The standard American diet is going to be like a Pop-Tart, a white bagel, a bowl of cereal, right? And all of those are fortified with folic acid. Well, there's a 44% chance your kid can't process that. And you're amping them up in the morning. It can literally be like for a 6-year-old, right? It could make their mind race. So now this kid gets up and he goes to the breakfast table and he has a Pop-Tart, or he has a white bagel, or he has a bowl of cereal. He dumps all this folic acid in the body, and now his mind starts to ricochet. Right, and it's a full contact sport to get him in the car, and then by the time they get to school, the call's coming home saying, hey, little Johnny can't pay attention, he doesn't focus, he can't concentrate, he doesn't follow directions, he can't pay attention.